What's up, y'all? How you doing? This is your boy Juro. It is Monday, the 4th of May, 2015. How is each and every one of y'all doing? Sun shining. We are in the midst of spring, and Mother Nature is actually acting right. How are you? I hope your weekend was well. I know that some of you had made some profound memories over the weekend. Some that you will never forget. And I also know that some of you may have had events transpire over the weekend that unfortunately are going to be with you for a long time. And you're starting your week. It's going to be a great week. I hope it's going to be nice and sunny wherever you reside. And I also hope that the blessings that are intended are there. So, now we done got over the weekend, all that focus and attention over the fight. I know some of y'all are kind of feeling a certain kind of way because you didn't get the outcome that you desired. And I know that some of y'all just was going with the flow. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Because guess what? Everything that you saw, everything that you embraced was intentionally revealed in that manner. I tell everybody all the time, society wants to use the word of faith, and they want to use the word karma, and it is just words of description. But I, for myself, look at it a little deeper, and I believe, from my point of view, my perception, that it is divine intervention. When you look at your life, y'all, your life is like a scale. And sometimes, depending on where you are, depending on the perception that you hold, the motivation that fosters that perception, things will either go up or come down. There's a reason for it all, y'all. There's a reason that your life is supposed to be balanced. It's a reason why your life is the way it is. But see, that's not the problem. The problem is perceptions. Because see, if your perception is fostered by pride, is fostered by ego, or any negative emotional response, your perception is not going to have clarity that it rightfully deserves to have. Because listen, far too many times we allow our environments to dictate our outcomes. Far too many times when we are required to be still, we act in a position of influx because that's that fight or flight emotional response. Because you're a human being. You're a human being. However, you're a spiritual being first. And I know sometimes when things are revealed, they can be unsettling. And that's when you want the clarity the most. Now, I personally believe this. See, the moment that you make a conscious decision for you, that means to invest in who you are. Because when you invest in who you are, guess what? Your actions will be defined by the steps that you take. They will speak louder than any word that you can project out into this world. But it goes back. It goes deeper. Because see, everything that you need to navigate on this planet is found within yourself. So the question that we all should ask is this. Matter of fact, I'll take a step back, because what I'm feeling right now, to sum that up, is the song Mahogany that was sung by Diana Ross. A movie was also done where she also was the main character. If you haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend that you check it out. It is deemed a classic for a reason. See, eventually, if you have not taken the steps to invest in you, you will come to find out one true thing. You will find yourself seeing and doing the things that you once did before. The only difference is if the outcome is positive or negative. So let's go back, because I know I'm speaking to somebody's heart right now. Because I know that this weekend, you got the shock of your life. Something or someone spoke to your soul, and you didn't like the communication. There's a reason for that. See, I've had to learn in my own walk. That's why I smile now. That there's always a blessing in disappointment. If you were spending one day, waking up the same way that you went to sleep, in tears, in confusion, feeling paranoid, or if the world is on your shoulders, there's a reason for that. The reason is, see, he's trying to connect with you, and he's trying to protect you from yourself. But, see, society is not going to tell you what you need. Society is only going to project what they want you to embrace. That is why it's very important that your perceptions that you hold dear, that moral compass that is found inside, which is called your discernment, is on point. And the more and more that you embrace and lean onto that, guess what's going to happen? The things that were hidden, the things that were obstructed, the things that were slightly altered for your viewing pleasure will come into focus to force you to see it for what it is. I know I'm talking to somebody. I put a post out not too long ago because I had an epiphany while I was out and about. And as you guys know, I do a lot of thinking when I'm in transition. But I make sure before and in how I end my day, my mouth is not working, but bear with me. I ended and started the same way, and that's in prayer. Because I pray for protection. I pray for protection not only for myself, but I do it for you too, because I know someone prayed for me. See, I know somebody right now. See, you wear a mask every day you go outside your door. You project a certain image, but you're tired of holding that burden. I think it was EPMD that said there was no future in your front, and you're getting tired of being tired. You're at a point now that the people that you've allowed in your circle, you've allowed access to your life, both in a personal and professional way, that when you're in the midst of them, you already know where they're coming from before they say their first words. Why? Because that's that discernment. That's that discernment letting you know, hey, this person right here is full of BS. Or this person right here is embracing sincerity and they're being compassionate. That's why some of your relationships and your connections are going through a major shift right now because, see, the rubber has hit the road proverbially. And guess what? Your higher power, I know him as my Lord Jesus Christ, has said, enough's enough. And just as you have angels, demons also exist as well. And you already know that because the people you come in contact, their behavior. How many times have you turned around and scratched your head or had to hold your face and you said, why are they acting this way? It was all good yesterday. Because guess what? They're being used. They're used to attack you. So you're not crazy, y'all. You're not. That's why as you go through your days, everything is about free will. It always was. Because everything is a test. You just don't realize that. You don't put that in the contents of your day-to-day, but think about it. If you are interacting with certain people and it feels like it's pulling teeth and you don't understand, or it seems like when you communicate with them, you are talking in two different languages, because guess what? There's some spiritual warfare going on. And guess what? Sometimes God gets tired. So what? So you know what happens? He may have had someone intercede in your behalf, even though you did not deserve it. But see, that person could see the real you. They could see your spirit. That's why the connection was so kindred. But after a while, even the most strongest person gets tired. So what happens? They go. They actually give you what you want. You want them gone, so they're gone. And lo and behold, the storm comes. And you're shook. You don't understand why you're catching so much problems. You are actually feeling the presence that once was there is gone. But because of your pride and ego, you try to put a square peg in a circle only to be frustrated once more. That's divine intervention, y'all. So it's very, very important, y'all, that you make a conscious decision to be still. Because look, you can't get back those 13 minutes just now. But guess what? The person that you are going to become is relying that you make sound decisions today. Let me spin the dial a little bit. I'm going to show you another trend that's been going on and was hidden in plain sight. My queens know this. My kings may not. But haven't you noticed, my queens, that when you're in the midst of another woman, before you even say your first words of hello or in passing, you already can tell that she's gone through something because you make eye contact and you see it. You see the weariness on her eyes. That's why proverbially you hear the term, the eyes are the window to the soul. Because guess what? Whatever is found within you is going to come out. It has to. It has to. So, are you going to do something different this time? Have a little courage and embrace your life. And I'm not talking about it from a financial standpoint, because that's just one aspect of what makes you you. Because you can have all the money in the world and be miserable. It's all about balance. It's all about balance. Now, I know some of y'all, life is nothing but a party right now. There's an abundance of joy, or what you think is joy. But eventually, your harvest will run out. And that soil that was called your life is going to become barren. Some of y'all already know what I'm talking about. You feel like you're the last person on the earth and you don't understand how you got there. Well, let me tell you something. Everybody can change, but that change can't come until you go within yourself. That change won't be made a reality until you decide to take accountability for your direction. That change will not come until you humble yourself and reconnect to Him. I know I'm talking to somebody. I know some of y'all right now, you are reading and looking and searching for that miracle pill or that one thing that will fill that void that you carried so much that that's like your best friend. And its name is pain. Its last name is denial. Its middle name is truth. And I'm here to tell you, it's time for you to sever those ties, because your life is not meant to be that way. Some of y'all been carrying that proverbial emotional backpack for over 30 years. It may have been seen, it may have been issued out to you when you was a little child. And that was what made part of the perceptions of your adulthood and the decisions you made, unbeknownst to you. And ever since then, you've had a root. You've had a stronghold placed in your life, and you don't understand. And actually right now, you know what I'm talking about, because some of y'all are getting pissed off, but that's okay, because I'm speaking love and blessing over that, because you will be free to that. See, eventually the music's going to stop, and reality is going to sink right into place, and you're going to be forced to look at whatever has been growing. Let me tell you something. The life that you dream about, yeah, those dreams can be yours the moment you decide to be transparent with yourself. Learn to speak your truth. That's why when you hear the term silence is bliss. But see, let's be honest. Some of y'all long for that for a long time, but you don't know how to turn the voices off inside your head. That ain't nothing but fear. That ain't nothing but confusion. And that ain't nothing but that devil trying to get you to dance for him again. Some of y'all are trying to do everything in your power to forget this past weekend, because you know that if whatever came out that you were a part of was revealed, that would increase the burden that you fulfill. And the sad thing about it is, you feel that that's the only way that you can feel emotionally safe. That's the only way that your life has some type of substance and relativity, because of your environment. I'm here to tell you, guess what? If you got to turn up, be brand new, be extra, to be in a certain environment, guess what? That's not the environment you were supposed to be in all along, because you will never find love there. You will find everything that you do not want. And here's the thing. Bonds, friendships, and associations that are not in your best interest will never tell you that. They will only consume your energy. They will only consume what is willfully given. For example, you know how when you're driving on the highway sometimes and you see those buzzards flying around? Notice you never see a buzzard attack something. It's already there. Some of y'all know that what I'm talking about already. Some of y'all have associations that are set up just that way. See, the problem with that is you were never supposed to lay down. So therefore, they can't feed off of you because they already know, they already see what makes you unique. So they're going to use what every opportunist does: lies, deception, and mistrust and misguidance. Why? Because they know that you're not grounded. And they're going to constantly ride that wheel until it's flat. Don't do yourself that way. You deserve to be happy. And here's another thing. Some of y'all may be reared from a family that has a generational curse over it. And what I mean by that is your mentality, your perception, and your knowledge is based off of what you've seen or what was the main focus of influence. Could have came from your father. Could have came from your mother. Could have came from your brother, or whoever that your heart is open to. So you can't take full blame for it, unbeknownst to you, but you do still have to take accountability regardless, because you know. You know how your parents always would say, you know better than that. Right. It's because you are better than that. And you know that. So what keeps you shackled to that pain? What keeps you feeling that you can find comfort in embracing the role of the martyr? What keeps you standing still because you're today's next contestant on I Want to Be a Victim? No, 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 no. The peace that you seek will come and overflow you the moment that you decide to love yourself. Some of y'all are so broken that you won't even tell yourself that. Have a problem even looking in the mirror to see the blessing that God created, and He created you. He didn't make no mistakes when He created you, but He did leave you a manual for those troublesome spots we get into. Some of y'all are afraid to even open a book. I used to be like that. I did. So with that being said, let me throw this out there to somebody. God loves you so much that all you have to do is come to Him and ask for forgiveness of whatever you've done from your heart, not from your mouth. Because you got to understand something, y'all. The moment you took your first breath, that was the moment your legacy was written. So if your legacy was written when the moment you took your first breath, who convinced you that He don't know what you're going to do? He created us. He picked your parents out. He picked your name out. Some of y'all don't even realize that the name that you wear, that you carry, has a significance under it. If you don't believe me, look up your name. And be prepared to, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. So let's bring this back home. For those that may be in the storm, and for those that feel that no one understands you, they don't get you, and you have a dark cloud over your head, let me tell you something. The devil's a liar. You see, right now, things are going the way he wants. That's why you got all that drama in your life. That's why you got the influence of the people that you got in your life right now. So now it's time for you to have courage to fight for you. Fall back in love with yourself. My queens, what do I always tell you? And I say it out of love. Stop looking for your mate. Stop looking for him. What you need to do is prepare. And trust and believe when I say this. If he does not have a spiritual connection first, he will not have a connection with you. Why? Because he doesn't have a connection with himself. Why do you think people come and go? What do you think? There's a reason behind it. Because see, the person that's going to have the keys to unlock your life will be a spiritual person. You got to come to terms with that. Now, that devil is basing. He's banking that you keep on the road that you on. Because see, they already know. See, that devil knows your desires. He knows what you like. He knows what makes you act the way you do behind closed doors. And some of y'all are great actors and actresses too. Because if there was a way that the world could see who you really are, you would run from the hills, and you know that. You know that. But guess what? The devil's also tricked you so much to believe that the person that is supposed to divinely walk with you and grow with you does not have the same capabilities to share that with you. But let me explain something to you, especially my queens. Stolen moments, as you already know, don't work because that's why your heart hurts. That's why y'all going through health issues now, because of making choices that you shouldn't make. Number two, your environment. See, you'll never find happy ever after with Mr. Wrong or Mrs. Wrong. They're there to teach you what not to do. They're there to show you that you have no boundaries. They're there to deplete you from your assets, may it be physical, emotional, and financial. Why do you think there's so many people walking around with emotional disorders? I'm going to tell you why. Because these people have been convinced, indoctrinated to believe not to speak their truth. And what you're witnessing is people that pretty much compartmentalize every emotion, every disappointment. In other words, been brainwashed to just only survive, to only keep it moving. Your life is not to keep it moving. Your life is to grow and experience your existence here on this earth. Why do you think we have the saying of each one teach one? Why? Because these people who finally had the courage to invest in themselves. See, you can't change unless you invest in yourself first. And guess what? When you invest in yourself, your purpose will be revealed in the divine time. That's why I tell y'all, your friends, this is how you know. Ask them what their purpose is. And if they can't tell you just like that, they don't know themselves yet. So guess what? Plan for them to exit stage left. Because they still have to grow. They still have to grow. Because until you connect to your real self, you know, that little boy and that little girl that lives inside you, the one that tells you, why are you abusing me? Why are you drinking to the point that you want to forget you woke up? Why are you going over to that woman's house so that she can turn around and emotionally rape you? Not alone depletes you of your financial worth, only for you to get right back in the car and be mad why you wasted your gas. I know I'm talking to somebody. Nothing happens by chance, y'all. But we have free will. We got free will. So guess what? Isn't therefore that's priceless because it's yours. Nobody else has that. Just like your perception, your viewpoint. Only you can see that. You can share what is being viewed, but only your level of interpretation is taken in because it's your life. You wasn't brought on this planet to play the scapegoat, or better yet, how about the punching bag? I know I'm talking to somebody now. I've come to learn in these last 25 years the power of free will. You can't make nobody do anything they don't want to do. That's why I said in the beginning, nothing just happens. You have to make the choice. And y'all know what I'm talking about. So stop lying to yourself, because all you're doing is wasting time, money, energy, in the things that will never grow. Never. So I'm going to bring this to a close, because I know this needs to go out to somebody. You're sitting over here beating yourself up, and you're tired. You're so tired. You have to coach yourself every day to be around a certain amount of people that you are. Now, these are people you allowed in your life. So if you allowed them in your life, shouldn't it be you that go on about your business? But what's really going on is you got insecurities because these people make you feel a certain way. But the residual effect of that is always far greater than the investment. It's time for you to love yourself, y'all. It's time. You guys y'all don't even realize. You're about to step into your summer, and it's going to be major, major breakthroughs. And I got to be honest. Some of y'all are going to see some things that was hidden in plain sight. And for far too long, you turned a blind eye. Well, now you can't. You can't. So however it manifests, if it doesn't manifest, if it doesn't come out in your favor, also give thanks, because it was meant for you to have that revelation that you're not supposed to be there anyway. And guess what? You're about to be broken free. Love yourself, y'all. Love yourself. Because guess what? Love should not hurt. It shouldn't. It should not. Oh, one more thing. Because I got to put this out, and I'm going to shut my mouth. Listen. For those people that are going through emotional distress, and you are using alcohol, drugs, or even sex as a way to medicate yourself from the pain, let me tell you something. It's time for you to have that relationship with God. It's time for you to be honest with yourself, because you're blocking yourself from yourself, and it's time to get out of your way. And most importantly, I'd say this to especially our community. If you got some traumas that you're dealing with, just know this: it ain't going to just go away. It's not. It's just going to fester like a bad sore. Don't matter how many band-aids you put on there until you go and get what you need for it to properly heal. And you deserve that. And what I mean is this. If you got a full-time job and you're paying for medical insurance, it behooves you to invest in talking to somebody. It does not make you crazy. It just validates that you are on the right path. And don't you think you're worth it? I do. Because I got a feeling right now Somebody had a bad go of it this weekend, and you saw some things that made your teeth click and your heart ached. That's not your work. That's not your walk. And it's time for you to have courage to take that first step back to you. Love yourself, all right? And as long as you do that. Now, look, there's a trade-off. A lot of those people in your circle are about to get exposed. It's long overdue. But guess what? You about to be transitioned to a better place. Okay? So love yourself. God is praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. I really do. I do. Ain't nothing worse to see somebody walking around, they lost their smile, or they got a heavy heart. And for that, that helps me discern mine. Look at it this way. You willing to spend a couple grand on some rims? Why don't you spend just a couple dollars and invest in your emotional health? You're worth it because there's only one you. Stay blessed, y'all. Love to hear from you. Bye, y'all.